decided to work in wind just because it was better opportunities. Before I was a wind technician, I worked at Discount Tire, installing tires and wheels.
We do have our advantages being females. We're a lot smaller than the men, so we can get into more snug places. We're more detailed.
When oil prices are good, they'll be pumping oil and those guys will have high-paying jobs, but then if oil prices go down, they'll just lay people off. They don't seem to care very much about the workers. And so wind is a much more stable industry.
石油の州というイメージの強いテキサス。パーミアン盆地のあるテキサス西部やメキシコ湾岸に行けば、石油を汲み出すポンプや海上油田が至るところにある。もっとも、テキサスにはもう一つの強みがある。風力発電だ。テキサスを一つの国と見た場合、風力による発電容量は中国、ドイツ、インド、スペインに次ぐ規模だ。取材班は風力タービンが最も集まる州西部ノーラン郡スイートウォーターを訪ねた。
On our property, we have about 43 wind turbines. We probably generate about $5,000 per year per wind turbine is how we get paid. So it does help. It does help tremendously. There are a lot of cotton farmers in this area because over the years they figured that cotton is really about the only crop that they can grow and make money. We don't get enough rain here for corn. There is some corn grown in our area, but it's irrigated with water. And water tends to be pretty, it's kind of scarce in this area. We don't get enough rain for soybeans. There is some wheat that's grown in the area, but a lot of times that wheat is grown, and if it turns off dry and it's not going to make a crop, they'll bring in livestock, cattle, to graze that, and so that they can make income off of it that way.
When you tour Eon, in the early days, even in the late 1990s, they did not expect to put many turbines on flat ground because they did not expect that the wind speeds would be high enough to produce that. Well, as technology changed and allowed them to build a turbine that would capture that better on flat ground, all of a sudden, Eon became one of the largest contiguous wind farms in North America. The impact of wind in this area is a tremendous plus for us. If you go back in 1998, the taxable value for Nolan County was about $500 million. By 2008, it was $2.8 billion. And most of that was due to the expansion of the wind. In fact, I think wind technicians is one of the fastest growing positions in the country right now. The salaries are all over the place, and you're going to have some guys that just have a little experience and may start out at $18 or $20 an hour. You have some technicians that are making $100,000 a year.
テキサス州には1万3000基を超える風力タービンがある。そのうちノーラン郡には 10% ほどが集まっている。1990年代後半にゼロだったことを考えれば、この20年の急増ぶりがわかるだろう。この拡大によってブレードのリサイクルなど周辺産業も発展している。
The material that's in those blades can be different based on the manufacturer. So there's fiberglass, there's wood in it, there's types of styrofoam in it, there's metal throughout it. We've seen changes within this county. With me growing up in here locally in Sweetwater, the number of people that have been able to come back to their home community, plus people that have moved in. I'm one of those people. I grew up here. It allowed me to move back. I've had friends that have left this community, yes, and have been able to return and get a good job in the wind. I've also had friends that have actually stayed here because wind actually came in.
ノーラン郡の判事を務めるホイットリー・メイも以前は風力発電所の建設現場の監督を務めていた。今は判事として風力発電向けの優遇措置の是非などを審査している。
Where I was home 3 days a month, they'd fly me back home, and the rest of the time I was on the road traveling. I came back for family. I hadn't been around my family hardly at all. It'd been years since I'd been home very much. Missing I'd always opportunity presided where I could run for county judge, and I ran for county judge, and I ended up winning, and I've enjoyed being the county judge for Nolan County and representing them on matters that they have for the last 4 years.
In Texas and across the United States, wind energy is growing. Renewables energy is growing across the country, and we see that as a constant growth. The cost of renewable energy, of wind energy, since 2009 has dropped 66% in the United States. And as technology advances, it will continue to drop. The size of the turbines are getting larger. We started originally with very small turbines. Now they're many megawatts in size. And as the technology advances, the efficiency of the machines advance, and it makes it a lot less costly to operate them. The political entities in the state of Texas, the Texas state government, was very forward-thinking in building additional transmission, because transmission is one of the key elements. It helps bring power from remote areas, and we tend to build the wind farms in remote areas and bring that power into the load centers of the cities.
風力発電ビジネスの拡大は地元の教育も変えている。同じノーラン郡ロス校にある公立学校は発電事業者の寄付をもとに高校在学中に準学士号を取得できる取り組みを進めているアーリーカレッジである。
We're trying to develop as many workforce certifications relative to this area, and one of those is wind energy certification. Chapter 313 agreement that schools was a way for schools to partner with wind companies, in our case, to give them a tax break for 10 years. Their savings, they would keep 50% or 60% of that savings, and they would pass 40% on to the school. So it became a windfall for a district like Roscoe that's historically been a very low wealth, property poor, agricultural based district, then to partner with a wind company and have additional resources to create some of these special programs like early college and STEM Academy. So our governing body has done a good job of using that additional funding wisely.
技術者の不足を受けて地元テキサス州立工科大学は風力タービンの保守メンテナンスの専門技術者を養成する学部を開いた。
This is our mobile climb unit. This is what we take when we do recruiting events to high schools or to any public recruiting event to give students and just people in general an idea of what it's like to actually climb the ladder.
I'm 34. So I was in the Air Force. I did a lot of maintenance on bombs, worked with missile guidance systems, things of that nature, and kind of got interested in this. I like the dynamics of it. The job is growing, it's expanding.
Before I came here, I worked on wind turbines. I left wind because I had 3 knee surgeries, and my doctor told me that as long as I continued to climb, my knee was going to continue to deteriorate. My students come in their very first semester, I make them start going to the gym. You have to be in decent condition and good shape to be able to climb. It is a 300-foot ladder. I never worked with another female for probably 2 years. That's a completely different story now. I think a lot of people are realizing that most jobs are gender neutral.
I've been office manager and waited tables. Wind energy really interests me, and I feel like I want to learn about it from like the very bottom to the top, and so I think studying wind turbines is like the starting point to this, so that's what I want to do.
This is what's called a pad mount. The electricity goes from the turbine into here, and then basically from here it goes to the substation. Yes, this is a high voltage. So this they have to actually wear the protective suit.
Directly before this, I was in ministry. I worked with a Christian church in Oklahoma. it's a pretty big career change, let's face it. I was in ministry for about 10 years. And I was looking at the kind of the future of the country and just the world, I think in general, is moving towards automation. And I thought, you know, I really want to equip myself with the skills and the knowledge to be able to work in that field into the future and feel that I had a secure opportunity for a job to support myself and my family. The wind energy has been so good for local economies, especially rural economies. You know, you can drive outside of Sweetwater pretty much any direction, north, south, east, or west, and find a town that is a lot smaller than it used to be. The population is dwindling. It's because of that loss of the agricultural potential, but wind is now kind of stepping in to renew that. And so that's really helping to build back up those economies. It really stabilizes for a lot of these farmers.
テキサスで風力発電が伸びたのは、州政府が送電網に投資した影響が大きい。逆に言えば、電気を消費する都市と送電網がなければ、電力会社がここまで投資することはなかっただろう。テキサス西部の地理環境と州政府の政策がうまくかみ合った一例だ。石油の州は再生可能エネルギーの時代を確実にリードしている。